Today, Missouri, we hope. Doggies, let's go. Alright, go on, Jimmy. Stella, I just stepped on the hair on your butt. Yep, when I accidentally stepped on the wimpy dog's tail, I mean Stella, sorry, and she yelped. Oh, we left a patch of fur on the steps. Oops. Oopsies. Wimpy dog, wimpy dog, wimpy dog. This is our spot at, what is this? Lake Lou Yeager, Litchfield, Illinois. There's the campground. Taking the doggies for a walk. This is $20 a night. And you know, pretty basic for a campground, but we're getting to where we like these. Very peaceful and quiet. Although something is a little bit weird to me, and I've always been told, is that if you have a red handle, then that means non-potable water. We parked at a spot that has a blue handle, which means potable water. I don't know if it makes a difference out here, but a lot of these spots have red handles. This was nice other than the smell of garbage. Looks like there's some permanent residents here, which I'm always alarmed by. Made it to Henry's Rabbit Ranch in Staunton, Illinois. Love the signs. Campbell's 66 Express. Humping to please. If I go around this truck, oops, excuse me. You see its symbol up there. What's his name? Stormin' Norman. Humpin' to please. I believe the company was based in Lebanon, Missouri. I don't think they exist anymore. This is an older alignment of 66. And their sign is "Here It Is," which is like a place in Arizona, 250 miles from Chicago. The theme of this place is all rabbits, so we have Rabbit Henge made of VW rabbits, as they are known in the States. I like the camper on the top.
It started as a hobby and it's still a hobby. Yeah, I never have looked at it as work, and up until December 1st I did 2 other jobs from there. I was with the same company for 34 years as an insurance agent, and it's been fun. It's been very rewarding. I never dreamed in 1995 when I started doing this that 66 would develop into what you see today.
Yeah.
I just still can't hardly believe it. You know, it's like, pinch me, I'm dreaming. And I've kept my very first page in this book that I have you sign. let's see, right here. Here's the very first page from 1995. And the rest is history. It's just, every year we have more travelers than the year before. I've never seen a decrease. And like when our economy went bad in '08, it was supplemented by the people from Europe coming over.
Yeah.
Because it was a better value for them with the dollar, with ours being our economy bad. People could come over here and travel cheaper, they told me, than go into the country next door to them. You know. So I would like to have you sign
Sure.
our guest book.
Please.
And do it your way. No, here, yeah. 5, the date, put the, Cinco. Cinco. Yeah. So, but, no, like I say, this has been, not a dream come true, because I never really dreamed of doing this. It was just something that happened, and I've never planned any of this. It's just like putting a jigsaw puzzle together. You know, the jigsaw puzzle, at least you have a picture of what you're trying to do. With this, I have no picture, but I'm putting these pieces into place. And one time somebody asked me, they said, when are you going to have the puzzle completed, the last piece? That'll be on the day I pass away. The last piece will go into place. And, but it's been fun. I'll keep doing this as long as the good Lord willing and my health allows me to continue to do this.
Do you know some on the route?
I know a lot of it.
Okay, so you probably have you heard about Gary?
Gary Turner.
Gary Turner.
Yeah, he passed away 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I used to talk to Gary on the phone.
Okay.
I never met him personally.
Oh, really?
Yeah. All the time he did it, we would talk to each other on the phone.
We never. Every time we always come and talk. We
were told to go up there by the ladies at Boots Court.
Okay.
So we went up there, and it was Halloween, and they said, you're planning on spending 20
2 to 3
minutes,
hours.
and you'll be there 6 hours later still talking to him. And that was exactly right.
6 hours?
Yeah, 6 hours.
But he provided you with drink and food.
And Halloween candy.
Yep. Oh, Halloween.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I would have emptied out the candy bowl. I would have been seeing the dentist afterwards. You know.
He was very passionate too.
Oh, he was.
With the people, he doesn't even care about this. Just wants to
He
talk
had more
people.
passion than anybody I've ever seen.
Yeah.
There used to be a guy up in Springfield, Illinois. His name was Bill Shea. And I first met Bill in '94, same time I met Bob Waldmeyer. And
okay.
Bill had a passion, and I always told Gary that he was kind of like a newer version of the Bill Shea. Well, Bill passed away not too long before Gary did, which is sad. But it's neat that you guys met him. You know, I didn't. I talked to him, but I never face to face.
I bet those are some long distance bills.
Me too.
He didn't care, and a lot of times I'd call him back because at that time I could tax deduct my phone bill.
Yeah.
You know, but Gary was a terrific guy. Oh yeah.
I like the Here It Is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are neat people too. The Here It Is people.
Yeah, I've talked to them too.
Yeah.
Because back in '03, or actually '99, when I did the Henry's Rabbit Ranch name, I thought, oh man, I probably should have asked them about it. But
And you know
they take it as a compliment.
Oh yeah. Well, you could put a sign up, X amount of miles to the other one.
Here's what
they used to.
You're reading my mind.
Yeah.
I want to get 2 pieces of 2x4 plywood, outdoor plywood, and one of them I'll have made Jackrabbit Trading Post, Joseph City, Arizona, with their Jackrabbit on it. 1,140 miles, because I've Google searched. That's about it. Then the other piece I have made, Henry's Rabbit Ranch, Staunton, Illinois, 1140, and send that out to them.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Antonio would, put it up. Talking about rescue animals, these are all rescue rabbits, and 10 of them that I have, 6 are from a shelter in St. Louis. In fact, yesterday we had our annual Bunny Expo with a fantastic turnout. And the other 4 are ones that I've rescued here in Staunton, with the last one being about 8 weeks ago, this little guy named Hubert.
Yeah.
That's named after my father. And it just tears your heart that people can just abuse animals.
And you just love rabbits? Is that
No, I love all animals.
you love all animals?
I have a sign here that says no discussions on politics or religion. Rabbits or Route 66, that's okay. But on the politics, I do make an exception. I get
Political for animals.
For animals. Yeah, and I support like PETA, the Humane Society of the USA, Defenders of Wildlife, and a few others. I mean, there's so many of them, and then you get on a list and everybody's saying you're wanting money. Well, you gotta pick and choose and limit yourself to what you can do.
Yeah.
But the animals I have a passion for. And the bunny rabbits just happened to be the ones that came along and became part of Henry's Rabbit Ranch. That's what made it Henry's Rabbit Ranch, or the bunny rabbits. When I first started doing this in '95, I didn't know what direction I was going with it. In fact, I probably still don't. But I called it Henry's Old 66 Emporium. And in '99, when I started off with 15 rabbits that I rescued from my daughter, I decided at that time we had the Volkswagen rabbits to call it Henry's Rabbit Ranch. And things have been hopping ever since. And it was really hopping back in '03. I had 49 rescue bunnies. And at that point, one day somebody said you should have 66 because of Route 66. And I thought, man, maybe 17 more. And it finally started making me realize it's time to let the numbers start going down.
It's hard to keep clean.
Well,
and these are really clean in here.
Well, and the my age.
Yeah.
Right now I'm 70. Chances are some of these bunnies are going to outlive me.
Yeah.
Unless the Lord gives me a very long life. Hubert, he's only 8 months old, according to the vet, when she neutered him. And so if he lives another 10, 12 years, I don't know if I'll live that long. I hope I do, but, so at some point I do gotta say, hey, that's it. But the shelter in St. Louis said if anything ever happens to me, that they will take care of them. So that's the consolation. Now you're here in Staunton, Illinois, and we hope that if you see this somewhere, YouTube or on the internet, that you'll stop in sometime. We're here most of the time, but every once in a while I'll take off and do 66 myself with people. Yeah. So how was that?
Great, thank you. So we've stopped in Pacific, Missouri for a little break. This is a very picturesque part of the route. I should talk to the camera. Picturesque part of the route. And downtown is kind of dead, unfortunately. But if you like trains and you like sheer bluffs, this is very pretty. St. Clair, Missouri, where I guess they have to have different water towers for hot and cold water. I don't know, it could be efficient.
you.